Kapa Hawaiian FM 100.3, 99.1, and online at kaparadio.com. Another edition of the Kapa Cafe. Joining us, of course, we've talked with them before, Satoru Productions, and new to the Kapa Cafe, which we're so excited about, joining us all the way from, like, you gotta get onto a canoe and a few horses and trains. Kumuhula Patrick Makuakane. Aloha mai.
Hey, aloha mai kako.
So exciting. You know, we, Jazz and I, have the opportunity to share some of the projects that have come through Scarlett and Pat's studio, Satoru Productions. And it was such a treat to see, Kumu, that you have kind of explored a little bit of a documentation of your voice, which is really exciting, really exciting. Now, tell me a little bit about how this mele came to be, any of you.
What? Okay, well, yes, the mele came to be because Pat and Scarlett, I'll let them tell you the story of how we came to be, but they sent me a track and they said, you know, you think you could chant over this? And as soon as I heard it, I was like, yeah, I can chant over this, but what chant, right? It didn't take me long to figure out that I think maybe that Mele Akahaku'i Kamoana about the birth of the Hawaiian Islands would be perfect because there was like some drama going on in the music and you can see how it would be built to let the chant float over it. And I just happened to chant over it, send it back to them and go, what you think? And they were like, we love it. And so we just kept exploring it and we love the idea of what the chant represents and the length of that oli, well, freaking broke your okole, any chanter who tries to do that. So it was good practice for me to get it going, right? Because it's one of those things you put, you know how it goes. You put them in the back of your head because you did them at Uniki 10 years ago and you don't even worry about it. But then that's one of the best things about this is that practice. Now I know that bugger.
So let's talk about the music and the production and creation, Pat and Scarlett, about the music and what drove you to create such a piece.
You know, this was something that was written actually for my wife here a long time ago and was sitting for a while, kind of just in the vault, you know how we do in the studio. Sometimes you just got tunes just hanging out. And there was one day where we kind of were revisiting some of the old stuff, and she had listened to it, and she's the brains of our operation over here. She actually was like, what if Kumu chanted on this thing? And you know, this is like the short story, but basically she had asked him, and we were so thankful that he brought the vocals and all of that good stuff to something that was just sitting there waiting to be turned into a song for a long time.
Yeah, it was also a kind of like a life-changing thing for us too, because we had been touring for over 5 years with our band, who we love, Kahula Nui, and we weren't really doing anything new. So it was basically, we were kind of doing these shows, the same music, you know, day in, day out. And when we got back from one of our tours, we thought, you know what, we should work on building a little studio. And so once we started doing that, that's how we came across all the music. And this one song kind of set us on our way, on our path right now, led to Hey Mama Wow and some other stuff that we've done, and really helped change our course. So it's been a huge blessing for us.
And we weren't alone also. I need to say a lot of our musician friends
yes are playing on the track.
We're incorporated in. We have Duke Tatum on the ukulele.
Yeah,
brought something really beautiful. We have Dwight Tokumoro on the steel guitar, beautiful as well. We have Michael Supernaut. I wish I could say his last name the way he says it. No, he's got a special French way that's so much better than how I could pronounce it. But he's on drums and percussions. Wonderful brother. Of course, Kumu did percussions too. He did some pahu. That was wonderful too.
Right, don't you forget that. My name better be on the credits. That's me.
And we have Jesse Snyder.
Jesse Snyder
who
on
did-
the nose
did the
flute
nose
as
flute for
well.
us,
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So,
You know, creating mele, bringing it to life, having the different musicians share their talents, and then of course you have it's like I always think about an artist who's painting. Yeah, there's an imagery in the mind, and then you're starting to create, and all of a sudden all the colors
Yeah.
start to come,
like
and it starts to have life. It starts to have life. So Kumo, Patrick, when you heard your voice, I mean, of course you've done production, and people who are listening via Kapa, we have many listeners from around the world, are very familiar with your work, especially in San Francisco and around the world. Um, how does this project, or your voice being recorded as such, differ from the other productions that you've done?
Well, I kind of think of it as in line with, because if you see one of my productions, I haven't, my perspective and how I present hula is probably different from everyone. And I think that's what our approach is with this album. It's just a very different kind of perspective in how we're going to present music and mele. And it's important to me that we retain that cultural foundation, because you need that anchor before you fall off that cliff. Just so that it's always foundational. We draw from that place, but to explore in places that other people don't find interesting or don't think that you can, that's where I find it exciting and inspiring. And so, yeah, this is like the first of many that I hope that people will be intrigued by and find interesting.
So you
Yeah.
just I heard a key word there: album. So there's more music to come. Kumu, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we've been working on a lot of different things, and that's what's been super exciting, because they've really allowed me to be me. Well, whoever else am I going to be? I have an expansive way of viewing Hawaiian music. I don't think it, like hula, I don't think it should be in a certain box. I understand when things are put there, and I appreciate that as well. But I find hula to be one of the most beautiful dances there is, so I don't limit it to just Hawaiian music, right? And so mele, they're not the ones that we're singing. We're not limiting to just traditional kind of Hawaiian instruments or the way that it has normally been presented. It's like, wow, let's use this, let's do this, and let's have the chanting go along with this soundscape. And these two have been incredibly supportive, and also a wealth of ideas in terms of how we can present this material. So it's been really incredibly satisfying to exercise this kind of muscle, because I haven't done it before. I was telling them that the subtitle of this album should be, since every other cracker can do an album, why not me? Every other kumu. It's like, wow, everybody else is doing an album. I should do one too then.
I was going to say, we many of our kumu hula have that hidden talent, and not
Yes.
everyone has had or has chosen the opportunity to document through technology and CD or DVD or what have you. For Scarlett and Pat, how is it working with a kumu hula? And I'm just going to put it in there. Hula people are different people compared to your normal musicians. And I say that with the utmost respect and aloha, because hula people, as we were talking off camera earlier, there's an expectation, there's a something, it's just different learning, teaching foundation. There's a foundational piece. How has it been for you folks working with Kumu in that matter?
Well, we did a show. We did a show with him when we were playing with Kahulunui. We've done more than one show, rather. And when we were at the Palace of Fine Arts in California with him, we got to see how he does it. And we got to see him sing too. That's how we knew he had a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
But we got to go and see how it was to work with somebody like that. Somebody that we could collaborate with. We thought it was so wonderful.
Well, I'm gonna say we had so much fun in the studio. It was very interesting. There's a lot of different facets to that, and but we laughed probably harder than we have in a long time, for sure.
In a good way.
In a good way, for sure. And
The was crazy, basically. That's what they're trying to say.
and just getting to
awesome.
be around him, what for us was really special. We got close with him and built a really good friendship and got to learn more, you know, just about the culture and stuff. At least for me, I know Pat grew up here. I've been here since I was really young, but the culture aspect of it. So it was really nice to have someone that's very immersed in that, and that's the roots. So yeah, it was actually very wonderful, and still is wonderful when he comes and we get to create new things
Get
together.
to blend the two worlds.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the mele and the hula, of course, they go way back, but the way that we got to work with him was very special.
And he's very open to listening and to learning and to, because this is not his first medium, you know, so that's been, I guess me and him, we have a thing where we kind of
vibe. There's a vibe happening.
We knew he could do it. We knew he could do it.
But we always work it out, and we come up with something amazing that we can all agree upon, you know. So yeah, it's like a team.
Yeah.
And I think that's the specialness about a collaboration, because in order for you to put something out, everybody should be happy with that product. So you have many eyes and hands working on something together rather than just this. Because as a kumula, a lot of the things that I do are insular. It's only me thinking it's a great idea. And then you put them out there and you're like, oh shit, maybe something was hard. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I should have listened to somebody that said, what you doing? But when 3 people have to agree, I mean, that takes a lot of work to create something that means it's special to all 3 who are part of the project. So whatever we put out, that means the 3 of us are happy about it. Or Scarlett and I am. Nah, just kidding.
No, well, Pat's pretty agreeable to everything. I'm the one that has to come in and say, you guys, maybe let's try it this way instead, you know, because but he's been getting really good at that.
It takes a process, with anything. I feel like that's like in hula, you have your alakai, you know, there's always somebody to be able to go and collaborate with, and Kumu said right there, you know, most of the time it was him. In our situation, we got to put all of our heads together to come up with something special.
Yeah, and it's different. Nice. It's definitely different, but it has an essence. And when you listen to it, we played it for you in the truck. It's beautiful. You know, it's just, you can feel the birth. You can feel all of the experience. You can. It's just such a lovely journey, you know. Anyway, I've listened to it 1,000 times probably, so you know, I'm very attached to it.
Scarlett said, you know, connecting on the culture and all of that. It must, and I love to talk when we speak with artists or other practitioners that are not receiving their mail in Hawaii. How do you continue to remain grounded when you are in your place of San Francisco, I believe? How do you remain grounded?
Well, I mean, that's simple. That's hula, right? Because when I'm dancing hula, I'm not in San Francisco. I'm home when I'm dancing hula, when I'm chanting, when I'm doing hula things, when I put up my kuahu. I'm not here. I'm home. I'm back in Hawaii. So I'm always feeling grounded. I'm always feeling connected, you know, and it's when I go outside, it's like, oh, I'm living in San Francisco. I forgot. But yeah, hula keeps me connected to that space, you know, and that's what a lot of people in the community here come to hula for, because it keeps them connected to home. You know, it makes you feel like, I mean, you hear a chant, you hear music, it's like you're instantly transported back to home and to that space and what Hawaii means to you and what it brings out for you. So since I'm hula-ing constantly, I many times don't feel like I'm not home.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
We had to connect when he came and visited as well, when we went to Mauna.
Yeah.
And we went we went up there and he got to go and chant and get connected that way too. And that was nice to have us all together.
And his ancestors from this island, I know, we're really happy to have him home. So.
They have this beautiful place that I stay up there on the slopes of Hualalai. It's in an Ohia forest. And for Kumuhula, that's like one hula hard on, I mean,
Yeah, I know.
I'm like full on, like, oh my God.
You are the kuahu when you're up there. It is the kuahu.
It is a kuahu. No, it is a kuahu. It is a kuahu. And she's right there on your lap. And to be in that midst and work, wow, it's not work, first of all. It's a joy to be in that space and to be able to exalt her with whatever we do. So it's been awesome on many different levels.
That's amazing. So, after, through this project, the album coming out, what can we anticipate? What kind of mele, Hawaiian, English, a mixture of both?
Mixture of both.
Yeah, a mixture of both.
Yeah, and we have a lot of really great guest artists that we're anticipating to be in this with us as well. The next one is going to be probably with Lee Howe.
Yeah, no, Hannes. She's not a Hannes anymore. Sorry, Kellen, she's a Pike. Years now.
Yeah, so that one's going to be very different, I think, in just the music aspect of it. As
Giving
far as
you groove, chill, like and the cool heavies, just hanging out, being sexy, and like, okay, see you at the club 2 a.m. Jan. Okay, bye. It's brilliant. And Lee Hao, and here's the thing about Lee Hao, when you hear her sing with Kupa'oa, she has a wonderful voice. Her and Kellen, they make the perfect partnership. But she's like, she can lay on the sexy, soulful kind of vibe, She's so good with that. And so it's great to highlight that part of her because she doesn't really do it with their music. But I'm like, girl, bring it out, man. That sounds good. Yeah.
Oh, how exciting. How exciting. How exciting. How about social media platforms? Are we there with following digital downloads? How is that looking?
Well, it just got accepted today, so all the platforms will be available. We were hoping by this Saturday.
Yep.
I'm sure YouTube will have it, but of course we want people to go to download it, which would be great.
Okay.
And it will be available. You just got to go on and look because and once we get the actual confirmation, we'll start posting links and stuff.
Okay. We'll definitely be sharing it on Kapa for sure. We'll definitely.
Yeah, we will. But hopefully this Saturday we'll have something. We're gonna have at least something. So.
Well, people are definitely gonna look for it.
Are you guys gonna premiere it on here?
Yes, you're gonna hear it right after this. As soon as I hang up, all of our Kapa listeners will get a glimpse of the mele right after this. Actually.
Okay, great. Awesome. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and I'm sending good jujus to Jazz, who's still healing up. If not, he'd be on this interview. But because I'm running the Starship, I'm running her like I was running her a long time. I'm just locking the house and going. I'm just going.
Yeah, a solo ride for you seems so natural.
Oh, you guys, it's been such a pleasure speaking with you all, and congratulations on the new mele Hanau. Please look for it, download it, support more Patrick Makuakane, Satoru Productions on Kapa Hawaiian FM. Mahalo to you all.
Oh, mahalo anu. Lo ka inga makia ma mukupuni na kalahana o kia la hui kanaka na ka hokui ka moana e mai Hawaii nui a kia e mai Hawaii nui a kia mai Hawaii nui a kia inga mai loko mai o kapo puka mai ka moku ka aina ka lalini aina o lumea ka vai aina o i kukulu o taiti ane o mau ke moku e aina na ka mo ka malala o alue noho na kulu ai e a hamea he kane na ina nui ala ne he wahine
lo amalo kai ke ku he karuna he kualena no lumea ku mai ke ali kalan al ku hai o tai lo ala ala he ki ho kama na ke o kana mo ya mo ya vali no halan ke kapuno uluhina ha na ko ala me hello pa ina uluhina mo ku kabiko ke kamai ke ke lele como ilo ho ka mena ka be kai ale ale no akabalo ke kama mo lo kini da lotu hey yeah ia hey yeah te motu ku mai ya kini ala ali mai tala mu mai tabi o ta ia mai tale foi o ale ale kalan o abu he wo kina au kini ala ala ka pu he kani ya ala me ala pa me mai ne ho o ka ho ilo li ka nu po ki ali hey ya ka pu no ne ka u le ka pu makali Kawai malia punina aina ya kalani alun wakili ki kumali waloa ei amai hawai tabot